Day 2, and it's Monday. I know, it's going to work day. Never mind, it'll be Tuesday tomorrow, and so on. It'll be all right. Now, lucky dip time, thanks to Malden Coffee House, El Salvador. So while that turns into some El Salvador coffee, I need to find the El Salvador notes. So, El Salvador is a North American country that produces shade-grown coffees, a rich, full-bodied coffee with a smooth, sophisticated flavour and an intense aroma. Rich, full-bodied, intense aroma. Take those notes with you. We'll find out. So then, intense aroma, we'll start with that first. Yes, that's that smell that is coffee houses. The general smell of all those different coffees together, that's that smell. Smooth and sophisticated, well, that's me, but that is smooth. That's a very nice coffee. Slightly sweet as well. Now, the first thing I need to say here today is I've got a running mate in this marathon. So check out 3 Rooms Raceway. He's doing the same. He's not done this before. You are going to hit a sort of wall halfway through, but keep going. So everybody go and watch his as well. Lots of Advent stuff. If there's any more, let me know and I'll mention those tomorrow. So we should get to the car. Today's car is the Revo slot Quadri 911 GT2. So this car is, well, technically it's not a 2024 car, but I did buy it after the end of the last Advent calendar, and it was on the channel as I think the last video of last year. So if we're going from Advent to Advent, this one's in, and it's the first, if you like. Now, I've already got one Revo slot 911 GT2 before I got this one. But this one, I mean, it really pops. Bright colours, lovely squares, very Mondrian sort of design. Lovely little story to it, because it was driven by a guy, Uwe Sick, who basically owned the company that sponsored the car. And he wasn't the greatest of drivers, but he obviously had a good time. And he produced a nice looking race car, that's for sure. The other interesting thing about this is obviously there's no magnet in this, and I don't bother putting one in. Early part of January time, I went to a local village hall and they had a scale electric track, and they said, oh, come along. So I took some cars and I took this one. So no magnet. And, you know, it's got these lovely, fairly grippy Revo slot rear tyres. I mean, they certainly do lovely on here. The track was a scale electric track. Moreover, it was a fairly dirty scale electric track. So it didn't have the biggest amounts of grip on it, which wasn't great. But on the other hand, it was very, very interesting, because with these angle winders, you get a certain amount of torsional and gyroscopic forces with them. So what I found was, under acceleration, hard acceleration, if the back wheels spun up, the back of the car would go that way, and then it would straighten itself up. Under hard braking, the back of the car would step out that way, because obviously the reverse effect, the torsional effect on the motor, caused by the drag from the wheels, is having the opposite effect. So on a clockwise circuit, where it's a predominantly right-hand turn track, if it's a bit of a skiddy track, This sort of configuration would work quite well, because as you're braking into a corner, it will step and start to turn as it goes through the corner. And as you come out the corner, it will straighten itself back up again. If you were doing this on a anti-clockwise circuit, you probably need something with the motor round the other way. So there we are. Those are my thoughts on this. It's the first of several Revo slots, as you won't be surprised to know, during this advent calendar. But I think it's one of the prettiest, that's for sure. So now it is time for, brace yourself, Mrs. Slotard's Christmas Joke, Day 2. Where does Santa Claus swim? The North Pole. See, I told you yesterday's was good and, you know, it was going to go downhill. It did. See you tomorrow.